Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. Thank you so much for joining me and for reaching out to me to see if we want to do another collab.
Yeah, thanks for
Um,
having me and setting this up. I'm so
yes.
excited.
So we did a collaboration on your Instagram channel, and that was such a blast. I loved it. And we're both Jessie Jane Bead brand partners, and what a great way to finish off our week with having a Sunday live. And nobody knows this except for you and I, but we were actually going to do this on Friday, and I had to flake out because day job got in the way on Friday. So I appreciate your flexibility on being able to move this over to Sunday. So thank you very much, Stacie.
You are welcome. Sunday actually worked better for me, so happy to be flexible.
Good, good. Hi, Danielle. We have Danielle in the chat.
Hey, Danielle.
Colleen is busy with the hubby, and so she's going to watch us on replay. But I want to thank
Colleen. We miss you.
We miss you, Colleen. So what I want to do is let's hear from Stacie. Stacie, tell me a little bit about yourself and tell my subscribers a little bit about yourself and what you do for Jessie Jane Beads and anybody else.
Sure. So I'm Stacie. I've been making jewelry for about 15 years. Started as a seed beater. So actually, a friend of Danielle's was Sam Westcott, was my inspiration and my mentor for beading, and she's a big seed beater, and I still do seed beads, but over the years have branched out to work with wire and bead stringing and an assortment of other things. So as Jen mentioned, I am a brand partner for Jessie Jane Beads, and today I'm actually going to work with one of their more recent collections, the Iris Apfel collection, and make a necklace live with everybody. And I'm at Stacie Rabbit Jewelry Designs. You can find me on both Facebook and Instagram. And Jen has inspired me. I also have a YouTube channel. You can find me at Stacie Rabbit Jewelry Designs there too. And I'm going to get off my rear and start posting more stuff there. So if you want to follow me there, I promise there will be more exciting things in the near future.
Thank you, Stacie. Stacie and I met via a live with Jessie Jane Beads, and we follow each other on Instagram, so we know what each other's doing, but we never got to meet face to face. And so I've just been having such a blast. And I did text Sarah James yesterday to see if she would be able to pop in and join us, just to pop in and say hi. And she is away with family right now. So we'll say happy birthday to Sarah's mom. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Hope you're having fun.
And so I've just been having so much fun with working with Sarah and everybody at Jessie Jane Beads, including all of us fellow brand partners. And like I said, we have Danielle Wicks in the chat. And I just did a live with her yesterday, and I had so much fun. We worked with Sam's Bead Shop and her collaborative box with him, and we just had a good time. I always have such a great time with Danielle, and she's really been a big motivator for me for posting, getting more into videos and stuff like that. And I just started jewelry making in May of 2020, and I started with making kits. So I took someone's kit and I made exactly what they had made. And then February of 21, I watched Great Bead Extravaganza. And this was all for Kelly Sutton from Kelly's Bead Boutique. And there I learned of Nilay Patel. And from there, everything just kind of snowballed. And I actually saw Danielle on a Nilay Live. And so this is a wonderful community, and you guys have all been so welcoming of me and supportive and encouraging, and I can't thank you guys enough. So let's go ahead and dive in. We are going to, hi, Becky. Becky's joined in. And so I couldn't figure out, and Danielle is the master of StreamYard, but
She is.
Danielle, yes, when I took Stacie and I off and just had the one layout of just her, our voices went away, even though we have everything plugged in the way we do. So I'm doing something wrong. So I'm such a StreamYard rookie. This is the third live I've hosted. The other two lives were with one designer, and over a year ago. So, and it was with Wendy Whitman. Those were my two lives that I had first, and she's greatly missed. And she was the second designer I ever saw. And so I consider myself still a rookie at all of this, but we will try. So I'm going to I'm going to bring in my layout here. And then what I'll do is I will let Stacie get all situated. She's going to bring in her overhead. Let me know when you're ready, Stacie.
I am ready. Let's go for it.
All right. Awesome. Okay, I'm going to bring her in, and we're going to bring in her overhead. Her overhead's it's coming in black. There we go.
Okay.
There we go. All right.
Let's just get stuff in view here. So let me move my collection of wires off to the side. So do you want me to start?
Yeah, okay. Go ahead and explain.
I will get to it.
Yeah, let's do it.
So I am currently obsessed with acrylic chain links. The light, get a little better lighting here. Yes, acrylic chain links. So okay, I thought I moved the lighting, but instead I just knocked it over. So part of the Iris Apfel collection are these acrylic chain links, and they come in a bunch of different colors. I think I've got more here. So they come in this cool teal too. So that's for another day, but that's my next project. Why did my light go out?
We're not going anywhere.
Okay.
So
well, my light dimmed, but anyway,
okay.
I think we can still see. So
yes.
Don't know what that's about, but we're just going to go for it.
We're going for it. The show
must technical
go
difficulties. On. So I'm going to make a necklace. Up on my page, I've got a couple earrings I made with these. And of course, when you have the earrings, you need to have a matching necklace. So I have one of these little amber pendants. I have a leftover bead from this strand that you had, Jen, and the name is escaping me. And then
the black strand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I've got these were really cool. They're like little fleur-de-lis that are faceted. Yes. And they're made out of stone.
Yes,
so
they are.
I'm super excited about playing with those too. Actually, I have a pair of earrings I have that I'll grab in a few. And I really like these chain links. They just pop together. Kind of reminds me of playing with Legos. So you literally just pop them together. And then what I was going to do is, I can show you here, kind of just with a simple loop.
Oh,
yeah. On wire. So I can actually do the first one. I can sit here and demo it. So I just cut little pieces of wire. I'm using the Beadalon. I am a fan of German style wire. This is 20 gauge. Anything in the sort of 2022 I find pretty easy to work with for these types of things. I just cut pieces so that we can do this in a reasonable fashion today. So I am just bending my wire to make it perpendicular. And I feel like there's a little too much, so I'm going to just cut a piece off. And then I am going to just come in and make a simple loop. So I'm going to grab this with my round nose pliers and just roll that back to make a loop. So I had a death grip on my wire, so I'm just removing the kink from it. But I've just made a loop. I am going to, I don't like how it's laying. I am just going to, holes are like hard to see on this. I know they're in where they are. Put my little stone on there.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to do the same exact thing on the other side. Just bend it to the perpendicular. And then cut. And grab it. And roll it back. So I've got that on. I like my loops to go on the same plane. You do this with 2 pliers too, but the hand works okay too. So I've got that there. And then I decided I'm going to use, and these are like a 10mm jump ring, just to connect these.
Oh, that's pretty.
Because I decided like it would have been really kind of messy to make really, really big honkin' loops, and these are all like uniform. I find it's easier to make more uniform loops that are small. And then I'm just going to kind of use those to connect these together. Put a little.
It should make things a little more flowy too.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid, because I tested
that's
these.
Good.
This is a little chunky, so I want it to be able to move on this.
Yes, it will move. I don't know if you can see the comments, but Lena has joined in too.
Hey, Lena.
Stacie.
I am actually going to put my reading glasses on so I can see what I'm doing better. I find that usually works. And Lena, I did make simple loops on my own. I did not use the one-step looper, which I do sometimes. Depends on my mood. So I am just going to get the first one of these assembled, and then John, if you want to do some stuff, we can kind of go back and forth.
Okay, that sounds perfect.
So let me just show folks where I'm going with this craziness.
Oh, that's so pretty. I can already tell. I could see it when you're describing it. You illustrate what you're doing with your words so well that I could see it, even had it done.
Well, that is good. So I've got that guy there. Let me get this other jump ring open.
Yeah, you should do jewelry making tutorials on a YouTube channel. Do it.
Well, I did one. There's one up on Jessie James Beads page with some of the pink Walmart, with the pink Walmart trio bead strand. I made a pair of earrings there, and I need to do more. So every year I try and push myself to do something new. So this year, that is closed good. So this year it is YouTube videos. Last year it was lives. So this is my opportunity for the year.
Gorgeous. So. I think having those jump rings as well gives a little bit of space so that bead has its own place.
I think so too.
Yeah.
So I have a bunch of these little guys to start putting together. And then I will lay that out, and Jen can do her magic. She's got some super cool stuff she's going to do with the new Walmart collection.
All right. I'll go ahead.
I can show you where I am.
Yes. I'll go ahead and switch over to my overhead, and here's what I have. I have some glass strands. I love this one. This one is a 4-strand, and it has rondelles in 4 different sizes. So I'm going to use those. There's some little baby rondelles all the way up to some nice little chunky rondelles. And so we're going to use this, and I have to be careful because I have this one open. Then I also have this glass strand, and these are red cubes, and they are so gorgeous. Someone had commented how pretty they were after I posted a picture, and I thought, the picture still doesn't even do it justice. And this,
those have a fun AB coating or something on them.
Yeah,
sparkly.
They're very, very sparkly. So what I did was I too used some German style wire, and I used 18 gauge and 22 gauge. And this is what I did. I was pulling in my inner Danielle, or not Danielle, Gem Hawks, and she had done a bracelet using the Goddess collection or some collection, and I feel like it was on a JJB Live or maybe even a class. And
I think it may have been in, I don't know if it was the summer camp or the spring one.
oh, beads and
Beads
blooms.
and blooms.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know what you're
So,
talking about.
yeah, and this is like my favorite bracelet. So what I did was, and this is using the Goddess collection, which is incredible. And I think I still saw it available at Jesse James Beads too. It's a gorgeous collection. And what I did was I did that, but with these smaller beads. And I used not the teeny tiny rondelles because they didn't fit on the 18 gauge wire. So I have 18 gauge wire as the base. And I did do simple loops on there because I think this one this one has simple loops as well. And I wear this all the time, and it's never, these loops have never moved. So having 18 gauge on a bracelet has worked out beautifully for me. I made this little wonky hook, and it's all crushed because I used my leftover wire to make that. But I just did simple loops on the end, and I will show you what I did with the 22 gauge wire. And I think what I'm going to do is bring in another color. Here are some more of those glass bead strands, which I did see on Jesse James Beads website. But if you're at your local Walmart, you might see these here because these were made for Walmart too. So I think I'm going to bring in, and I'm going to use a Danielle quote. I'm going to bring in a pop of color. I'm going to just pop a color in.
And I was going to say too, if you don't see those strands at Walmart yet, they will be there. Because I was telling Jen, I quoted Mark Twain and said, I live in Cincinnati, Ohio. He said he wants to be there when the world ends because everything happens there later. So my Walmart doesn't have them, but you can also order them online at Walmart.
Yes.
Or Jesse James, either one.
All right, so I am going to just put in a couple of these. And what I love about these strands is that you get 2 strands of beads. Love it. I'm going to bring in some of these other beads here. And I have to be, this bracelet that I made first was a little large. So I am going to, it was a little large. And I could very easily just take out one of these rondelles on each side because I did the same on each side. But you can play with the order and how many beads. But I'm not going to give up on how many red beads I have because they are so stunning, so stunning. So as I get this ready, do you want me to come back over to you for a bit?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Get a work in progress going for you. Ooh. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, so I've got another piece going here, but what I'm actually going to do is shift gears.
Nice.
I don't need that because I'm going to make a pendant. Sorry. I'm like, I don't need that one. How did it get over there? So again, I'm just using the same 20 gauge German style wire. It's probably 3 inches. And I am just going to make a wire wrapped loop on one end because I want to be able to connect it. And I think I'm going to do that on one end and then just a simple loop on the other end and connect this amber piece. So to make a simple loop, I'm just going to grab the wire, bend it at a 90-degree angle. And then because I'm going to connect a couple pieces to it, that's the best way of showing it. I'm going to grab it up here because I want a bigger loop. And I am just gonna roll that over my pliers and then just turn it until it is perpendicular. Then I am gonna come in, grab my wire, and just bend that around. Usually I use a tool, but it is so hot here. We're still in the 90s that even though I'm indoors and air conditioned, the wire is bending on its own very, very well today.
We're going back into the 90s too.
Sorry.
I know.
I think I'm hoping that we're done with it because I'm done with it. Yeah.
I'm done with it. I don't like it.
And these are a little lower than I would like them. I'll just come in and scooch them down.
Hi, Linda. We have Linda joining us. She's from Australia.
So I'm just trimming off a little bit, tucking the little tail in. Okay. And then I call it the cow bead. I'm not sure if that's what it is, but it looks like, is it a Holstein cow? I think that's which one it is. My grandmother collected cow creamers. I don't know. But it reminds me of like her cow creamers with the spots. So yes. Anyhow. Don't ask. So I'm going to just make a simple loop to connect this on. And so I'm going to just bend that with my hand at a 45. My math is not failing me here. A 90-degree angle. And then just going to cut it and make a simple loop. Again, I'm keeping this one a little bigger because I just want it to have some movement on the design. Okay. Nice. I don't know why I'm weird. I like to close my loops and then open them again. It's just a me thing. So I'm going to just put this on here and close it up. So
that is pretty.
Yep. So it'll just go in the middle. I need another chain here.
All right.
But if you want to switch over to you, we can do that. And
yeah,
let's keep working.
Yeah, we'll just keep on going back and forth. All right. So now what I did was I strung all my beads onto my 18 gauge wire. And what I did, it's probably about maybe 8 or 9 inches. It's one wrap around the large spool. And for the 22 gauge, I did the same thing, but I did I unwrapped it twice around. And this is probably about, I don't know, maybe 17, 18 inches or so. And that's what we're going to use. And the first thing I want to do is I have a flush cut on this side, but I want to make a nice size loop. And for my little demo here, I used a quite large loop there, and I want to use a large loop again. This time I am going to use, I have the 6-stepper, and I'm going to use, here's the small second, number 3. I'm going to use number 3. And I am going to just rotate that around for a simple loop, just like that. Come in and break that neck. Okay, then what I want to do is, now I have this loop on this side, and I don't want to, my bracelet is not going to be, I'm not going to trim it here and do another simple loop. I'm going to come up a little ways. And so the reason why I do that is so that we can have room to make the little wraps in between. And you can do this any way you want. In this one here, I use chunky beads and smaller beads and just work my way down. I made another one. Here, green, and my wrap went around 2 beads with a crystal rondelle. So I've made it a couple of different ways.
Oh, I like that green.
Isn't that pretty?
It is.
This, I was supposed to put this in a box to Maria because she has a small, tiny wrist, and I made this for her because she loves.
She does. Speaking of which, I am going to see Maria this week. I am in New York, and she and I are getting
Good,
together. So I'm super
good.
excited. So, hey, Maria, if you hear this, I'm very excited.
So what I'm going to do is I am just going to put this around. I have a little rinky dink. I mean, this is flimsy. It was just, I printed it and put it on a cone, but it's a paper cone. So it's not anything with any substance, but it works for me. And this is what I use for sizing the bracelets. And so I'm just going to kind of get a little bit of an idea of where I want to make my loop. And I'm doing this off camera because you guys would probably really laugh if you saw. Okay, so I'm going to go about right here. Okay, that's where I want it to go. So my bracelet's going to be about like this. And so what I want to do is I want to make a loop right there. So I'm just going to bend it over, and I'm not as good as Stacie. So I put this on, and then I cut it after I get that all nice and centered, and then I cut it at the base. Flush cut, of course. And then this little piece is what I made the hook with, was this little tiny piece that I had left over. And so now I have myself a nice little loop, and I am going to get this all nice and straight. So I'm going to put this back in and just kind of straighten it out a little bit, move my closure around just a little bit, and there we have it. And they're opposite right now, but that's okay because you can change that around. Now, what I want to do is bring in my long length of 22 gauge. And this is the little kink that I have when I have to kink my wire a little bit to send it through so that I don't have just a crazy spool of wire. So what I do is actually use that part and use that as my anchor and just kind of form that over so that I'm not really wasting a whole lot of wire when I'm doing this. And I'm just going to wrap it around. I'm a 3 wrapper. I like to wrap around 3 times. And the reason why is because I remember that. And if you do something like always wrapping around 3 times, you will never forget what you did on the other side. And then now I'm going to come in and just get this all nice and cleaned up and get that tucked in so it doesn't poke out, and tuck it in a little bit more and get that all nice and clean. Now what I can do is just scrunch that up to the top and start working around my beads. And I'm just going to hold on to my bead in between my thumbnail, my index, and then bring my wire around, and it hugs that pretty well. And then for these, I only go around once. Well, actually it's like 1.5, because then my next wrap is going to go around this way. And then I'm going to wrap it around. And I'm just going to continue going all the way around. And if you find that you have too much space or not enough space, you can really move this around easily before you get completely done. And that's what I did. I got towards the end and in my demo that I did, and I just did it this morning. I was like, oh no, I'm going to run out of wire space to do more wrapping, but it ended up being perfectly fine. So I'm just going around 1.5 times so that I can keep on wrapping. And if you want more room in between, you can do more room in between. This is your design, but I just really love how that looks. It's so pretty and classy, and you can wear it on casual Friday. You can also wear it out Friday night to the concert too. So this is a very versatile piece. And yeah, And I love these colors. I love bringing in the pop of white. And as I'm doing my wrapping, I'm not really pulling or warming my thread. I mean, my wire. I'm just kind of grabbing it and holding it. I'm not warming it so it doesn't get brittle. Sometimes that can happen too, especially with thinner wire. This one's 22 gauge, so it's not too thin. But yeah, so I'm going to keep on going around, and we are going to, you ready for me to check in with you?
I am. I need to move up here. My piece has gotten big.
Ooh,
So
that's so pretty.
this is the pendant that I created. And then I actually just used 2 of those jump rings through the wire wrapped loop. You can see
Oh,
that
nice.
there, to connect it. And then have gone the other direction. So I can kind of move this down. And it's the problem with necklaces on a live. They start exceeding the space you have on the screen. So I was just going to connect this one up here. And I don't do random like very well. I'm an engineer by training, so I blame that. But I felt compelled to like try and these had some variation in color, which I liked, but I felt like I had to match them up. So I have the darker one, the oranger one, and then the whitish gray one.
So pretty.
So I know. Now you know that about me. So that's a bit of my craziness. So yeah, and then I will show you this. So I prefer to use toggle clasp. I just personally find them easier to work with.
Mm-hmm.
And I found this one that looks like chain in my stash. And I was like, it has to actually go with this particular design. So I've got chain with chain that I'm going to be working with here.
Oh, nice.
And then I'm trying to figure out what I did with the matching earrings. Oh, they're right here. So these were on my page, and I actually did a reel, but I'll show you what matches. So I did the earring version.
Oh, so pretty.
And I thought this was a great design for fall. And
yes.
Out of my normal. So I work a lot in blue and a lot in silver. So to go with fall colors, especially this kind of like army green color.
Oh, I love it.
Was different than my usual, but I really like this. And in fact, I'm thinking about keeping this piece. Not that I need to keep this piece, but I have that conversation with myself literally on every piece I make. I don't know, Jen, do you ever do that? I'm like, oh, maybe I should keep this one. Okay, good.
Yes. No, not just you. That's probably all of us. And you can see by my backdrop, I can't let go of anything. I really can't.
I fortunately it's like over here where you guys can't see it, but I have 2 jewelry holders that are stacked with pieces, and I do go through them once they get so heavy that they start falling over. But do you want to switch back to yours, Jen, and I can try and finish this off and show folks what the finished piece looks like?
Okay, so here we go. So I just kept on going around, and with this one here, I did less beads, and I did get that nice and I did less beads, and I also did smaller.
I like that too.
Instead of doing the 3 of the big juicy grays, I brought in the pop of white. And when I did that, and plus I didn't do 3 of the middle size rondelles, that really shortened it up. As I approached the end, I had a lot left over. All I did was start scooching, and I actually like it. Even though you don't have wraps that butt up against all the beads, I kind of dig that. Am I breaking some sort of wire wrapping rule by doing that?
I don't think so. I like it too. It's different.
Okay. I know Linda's
think you
here.
can do whatever you want.
Linda's here, and Linda, she is with a Gumnut Lane Jewelry. And if you haven't jumped over to her YouTube channel yet, do. She does incredible, amazing wire work.
I'll
Very,
have to
very,
check
very
Linda
good.
out. I
Yes.
don't
So,
think I've heard of her before.
yes. So, if I'm breaking the rule, Linda, oh, I'm sorry. But I kind of like having that space in between because then it makes it like a little bit of a, not bangle, but kind of a little bit of bangle. Thank you, Becky. Thank you. Jump on over. Anybody go over to Becky's YouTube channel. She's incredible designer. She's going to be with Danielle, I think, coming up. Am I right? Is it next weekend? I can't remember. But I think she is going to be with Danielle Wicks next weekend or in the upcoming weekends. So everybody go check out Danielle Wicks. She's at daniellewicksjewelry.com as well. And she is posting designs and they're just incredible. So I have great mentors to be looking up to, and she is one of them. And what I'm going to do on this one here is I'm going to add, I just made a wonky jump ring, and I'm going to add a lobster clasp on this one just to make it a little bit different. Also, too, I think I have some toggles too, because I still have a bag of toggles from Jesse James Beads. And actually, it's not just toggles. They have, I think it's called the metal assortment. And it is an assortment of closures, clasps. There's like a big chunky lobster clasp, similar to what I used in a summer camp. I think it was summer camp, or it might have been Beads and Blooms. I think it was Beads and Blooms. And so jump on over to jessijamesbeads.com and get that too, because like I said, I've had it for a little while and I always go to it, and I must be out if I'm not seeing it here. But I'm just going to attach a jump ring with a lobster clasp, and I'm going to have the lobster clasp just clasp onto the loop that I made on this end because it's strong enough. It really is strong enough. This German style wire. And you can also too, just, I know Jem will work harden hers just by using her chain nose pliers. I've used my nylon pliers too.
I use my nylon. I prefer to do that because it doesn't mark.
I have these. So these here, and you can just easily just kind of work harden. It's kind of like using, I have the wire whacker too from Softlex, and I love it. Now, another idea.
That's always a good one on a day when you've had like a rough day at work.
Yes.
So yes. I'm like, oh, I'm really enjoying this.
I need to wax some wire. So speaking of wire, this isn't German style wire, but something else that I thought of, especially with us working with all the reds. And I still have some of my iris collection as well that I need to work on. So I'm probably going to do that after we're done. But Jesse James Beads also has the multi-wire. This is artistic craft wire. And this one here is red, gold, and black. And I think that's going to go really, really well with, I'm going to be using some of this strand. And this is one of the glass strands. And it has bicone, it has a round, faceted round, and it has faceted roundels, has little spacers. And any of you that are Jesse James Beads regulars, their spacer beads, I don't know what's about their spacer beads, but their spacer beads are amazing. I love their spacer beads.
I do too. I like the rhinestone one. That's my favorite.
Yeah, so pretty. But I think I'm going to be doing that, as well as I brought in some bead caps. I don't know if you took advantage of the beads by the pound when Jesse James Beads had beads by the pound. And in the beads by the pound, it's a pound of beads, and they have different colors. I'm looking up because I have the orange, the red, the yellow, and the green. And that was actually the picture in the thumbnail for this live event. And I did this. I used that because Sarah James loves that picture. She loved that picture. Took it in the backyard with the pool in the background, and she loved it. And so I thought I would use it. But all of these bead caps came from those beads by the pound.
Oh, cool.
So use some of the bead caps too. And I am going to bring in, I think I'm going to use the red, and I'm going to bring in some of these smoky bicones. And I had the paper out of what these were all called, but I did do an unboxing on my YouTube channel with all the iris collection that I had. And so I'm going to use some of these little bicones here. And then I have some seed beads. Love the seed beads. Because someone, she might be in the chat. She really got me hooked on seed beads. I don't know. Her name might be, let's see, Danielle Wiggs. She got me hooked on seed beads. So I have seed beads, and these are white, and they have like a black lining. And these are also Jessie James beads. These are Toho 11-Os. And then I do have another strand, which there's your Holstein cow bead.
That strand is amazing. That was one of my favorites from that collection.
I don't want to cut into it, but I have to because I have to make something with it.
That was the first thing that I played with, actually. I saw that and I said, this one speaks to me.
Oh, I love it. I don't know if it's these. Look at these little square beads.
Yeah, those are fun too.
Oh my goodness. And the spacers. Okay, so this is the bead strand that Stacie was using her little, they're like faceted too. They're like bumpy or faceted.
Yeah. It's some kind of stone, I think, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm going to do that. We're going to jump back on over to Stacie's overhead. Is that okay?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. I'm going to do that while I continue organizing. Let's bring you back.
So I gotten most of my length here, and actually,
oh my gosh, I love it.
I love the chain clasp with the chain. So I really just need to put one more on in my clasp. But I just realized, Jen, that I am wearing, and I will take them off here and put them out so people can see them. So these black rondelles are the same exact Walmart beads that Jen had, but in black. And made this pair of earrings using those. And then actually I had the matching necklace on. I realized I had no jewelry on today, which is almost always the case when I do a live for whatever reason. But I also made this piece. So this is again using that strand with the 4 different strands of rondelles. And then the clear is also one of the Walmart strands. I believe it was the one of the trio strands in white or clear. Strand?
Okay.
Yeah. And you can see, so this was, I believe, the largest size. And then the second largest size I used in here as well. I think that's what those are.
So pretty.
And these I just put on a bunch of different little bald head pins and connected on here to kind of make a little dangle.
Some dangles.
So it had some movement. Yep.
Oh, Leanne, you are so right. So Stacie, Danielle, or Leanne in the chat is saying that Danielle contributed toward getting us all hooked on seed beads.
She did. She did. She is like the bad seed bead influencer around here. So
yeah. That is gorgeous. So you used the glass trio strand. It's this one here. Yes.
Yeah, the black one. Oh no, the clear one.
Yeah. So I have the clear one here, and then the black that came in the 4 different sizes. I can't pick up my gray one because beads will go everywhere.
Yeah, don't do that.
And we have wall-to-wall tile, so we find beads in like 3 rooms down, and so yeah. So again, I did see these available at jessiejamesbeads.com, but you can also go to your local Walmart. What I'm going to do is we are going to hit our local Walmart here in Turlock. Not that there's a lot of people from Turlock on here, but I but I will see what they have in our local Walmart. And when Jessie James Beads released those window box bead mixes, remember those?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I went to Walmart and snagged all the ones that I didn't get from Jessie James Beads, and I did a little reel, and there were a bunch of window boxes in there, and I went back a week later and they were gone.
Oh, wow.
Just so quick. So that is incredible, incredible. So there's other bead people here in town. I need to find them. Yeah, I need to find them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that is gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I love it. And when we are done here, I am going to go on jessiejamesbeads.com and I am going to snag myself some of those acrylic link chains because Jennifer doesn't have any and Jennifer needs them.
Well, like they also, so this is the one that I think is my favorite.
Okay,
I think it's like the tortoise shell. I think it's a tortoise shell. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I love this one. This is a little bigger too.
Bigger's better.
Well,
yeah.
Sometimes a little bigger than these, but yeah,
those are pretty.
Those too. I don't know. I got this one first actually, and some stuff they sent me to make pieces with. And I was so excited that I went and got all the rest of them. I think there's a red too. I don't think I got the red.
Oh, red. I love red. Oh my goodness. I know, right, Becky? Becky is saying, wow. And I'm wowed. Can you pull those up to the camera again? Both of them, the different sizes. These are the acrylic links. Oh my goodness.
And they're super light too. I mean, you make, stuff out of them and they're so light.
That's good because if you're going to add stones to like earrings or something and you want your stones to have, because you want those gorgeous stones, and in my opinion, the gorgeous stones, I want chunky. And Linda is saying bigger is better and more is more. LOL.
Well, and I don't do long earrings a lot for myself because I don't like heavy ones. But these are kind of long, but they're super light.
Yeah. Too. Yes. And
so
you have
get
stone.
Kind of dust or length.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. That is awesome. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Well, I am going to I will be making and designing with this one strand that I do not want to bust apart, but I will. And some of these little bicones, and I'll bring in some red and I'll post that picture later. And then I will also, we'll get Stacie, she'll post hers, and I will be sure that we are collabing with each other on Instagram, which that was incredible. Danielle, she said, oh, let's collab on Instagram. And I had to Google it. And because anytime someone says anything technology, I'm like, oh yeah, sure. And then I turn around and Google it. I work in technology. My day job is technology. I'm not techy at all. But yeah, so I love that new collab feature. I don't even know. It is
cool. But then it gets shared on both of our pages, and we can see any comments that you make, we both see.
Yes. And so I love it because, if I have a follower, they are likely your follower and Danielle's follower and everybody, because I came in so late in the game. But I do have some friends that are also on my Bella Rain Jewelry Instagram. And so what I don't do is I don't post a lot on my personal with my jewelry stuff.
I don't either.
I need to do more because all of a sudden people are like, what? You make jewelry? Really? And
I'm just afraid that I'm not going to have friends anymore because they don't want to see jewelry all the time.
Well, I am going to bring us back in. Yeah. We have 10 minutes, so we'll do 10 minutes of chat.
Okay.
And I am going to...
Actually, I'll put this on. I'll try it on, see how it is.
Oh, let's see. Oh, my goodness. That's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's not moving so good through the clasp. I think because this is so chunky, I'll have to put
Oh,
another ring in there.
mm-hmm.
It was being fiddly. I'm
That
looking at it.
is
Yeah.
absolutely beautiful.
So just a tip for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Try and show you here.
Yes.
If you have something big, like a big bead, a big link, and it's near your toggle bar, it can be really a pain to get through
Mm-hmm.
here. And so what I'm going to do is just pull off this toggle bar and just put another smaller jump ring in here to give it a little bit of space. So if that ever happens to you, that's all you need to do.
Yeah. So I have, this was, I can't remember if this was Galentine's, but this was a soft flex thing. And that was the same thing, was making sure that the bead up here can actually go. And this is actually goes through the little toggle.
Yeah.
But those big chunky chains won't go through the toggle.
Yeah, I thought I might have been okay because this chain is not huge, but apparently I'm not. So easy fix.
So Becky is thinking of making a separate, yes. So I have two. I have my personal one, and then I would post stuff on my personal Instagram. And then when I was trying to become a Jessie James Beads ambassador, this was back in the day, and this was like in November of 2021, I needed to create a separate one. And so I've done the separate Instagram. And so that's worked out wonderful. So yes, Becky, do that. And then I think I also have a Bella Rain Facebook. I'm never on Facebook because I feel like the feeds never take me to the right places. I don't know. So now that we're winding down, what do you have coming up, Stacie? You have a weekly live, don't you?
Yeah, we've taken a bit of a hiatus since Cole has moved, and we also don't have anything. I don't have anything coming up in the next couple weeks because I've got some travel for my work job that will be consuming me the next 2 weeks. But
our day jobs.
I know. But I am very excited, and I will not spill the beans because I don't think it's been launched yet. But the very new, hot off the press, September Magical Mystery Bead Box from Jessie James. Mine arrived. It's over here on my desk, out of sight. But it is very cool. And that is what I'm going to dive into next.
So, speaking of the Jessie James Beads Magical Mystery Bead Box, when you guys get your bead boxes, you will get the card. So if you're not a Magical Mystery Bead Box subscriber, this comes inside your monthly subscription, and then the QR code for the month of September. When you hit the QR code, you're going to see three.
They were all Jen's. I saw that.
Yes. So I'm so excited. And I had such a blast dealing or making those pieces up. And I try to make them easy and quick. And so what I'll do is with the rest of the box, I'll make some of these, wire wrapping, those types of things. I was actually going to have vendor markets over the next 3 months. 2 a month, 2 in October, 2 in November, 2 in December. And I messaged Danielle earlier and I said, I heard from the organizer that the 2 weekends in October that I was going to be out here in my hometown with my stuff can't happen. They're under new ownership at the venue. And yes, and so she couldn't get those dates. The 2 dates that she did have available are the 2 dates that I wasn't going to be there. And I made plans those other 2 weekends.
Yeah.
So no market for Jennifer. So I'm going to have to come up with something different because I made up, if anybody knows, the jewelry is the side hustle. Well, I have a side hustle to the side hustle, if that makes sense. And if any of you guys out there were Beads and Bloomers, you received a little soap in your package as the little goodies. I made those. So I make soaps. And so I have soaps that I made. No, you can't eat these, but I made soaps.
They're pretty.
I was going to be launching them at these vendor markets too. And look at this one's spiced chai. And then this one is a hot cocoa, a minty hot
Oh, how
cocoa.
cute.
And yeah, Jen's not going to be out there now. So Jen's going to have to come up with another way so that I can make sure that people can, that I can get these out to people. These here are all natural goat milk. And so I use essential oils and stuff. And I love the box. Yes. So Danielle, I sent Danielle a box of soaps, essential oil blends, and I think it was a room spray too, a room and linen spray that had essential oils. So now I got to figure out another way to do this. But after talking with Danielle, sorry that I keep on Danielle, we're going to turn that around and we're going to do a live sometime in October. And then we're going to have a series coming up. And do you see that? Let's get it. You see that loom right there?
Mm-hmm.
That's the hat band loom from Jewel Loom. And we are going to have a hat band series. Did I just like totally spill it?
Oh, wow.
I might have actually spilled it. So Danielle, I'm sorry. And yeah, so we have that coming up. So be watching. We're going to get Stacie. Maybe you could do some lives on your YouTube channel too. Sign me up. I'll be there. Sign me up.
Absolutely. We'll have to schedule another one. Danielle and I do have a live like end of October. My brain is like not up that far. And I've been talking with Juliana about doing a live over on the bead loom. So yes, Danielle, I am venturing more into the world of looms.
Yes. And I had the little earring looms and I couldn't find them. I bought them like a year ago and I found them the other day. They just appeared on the floor. I'm like, I've been standing there in the last year. How did they just appear? And of course I took a picture of it and sent it right to Danielle saying, look what I found. Let's go. Let's do this. And so, so it sounds like we'll both be doing some stuff with Jewel Loom as well. And I'm excited about that. And oh, Danielle, it fixed your headaches. Good. Essential oils fixed her headaches.
Oh, cool.
Yay. Love it. Love it. Love it. And what can let's see, we'll come back again. Stacie and I, we're going to collaborate again, whether it be on her channel, my channel, we're going to collaborate again. So make sure to go subscribe over at Stacie's YouTube channel so that you don't miss out, so that you get notified when she has a new video. Also to jump on over to our Instagrams. Over the weekend, we were posting that we were going to be having some lives or having this live. And yeah, so be sure to follow us. And Danielle Wicks, thank you so much for being here. I could not have done this
Thank you so much, Danielle.
Yeah, thank you so much. And thank you everybody for joining us. And we will let you go. We're right at almost an hour. So we'll let you go back to your Sunday. Thank you again, Stacie, for being here.
Thanks for having me. Bye, everybody.
Bye.